We've all had this happen. You meet someone new, or someone you kind of know. You start with the usual stuff. Hey, how are you? What do you do? Where are you from? And then, nothing. That long, awkward silence where both of you suddenly become very interested in your drink, your phone, or literally anything else in the room. For the longest time, I thought this happened because I was bad at conversations. Like some people just had it, and I did not. But that is not actually true. Most people do not run out of things to say because they are boring. They run out of things to say because they get stuck in their own head. And psychology explains why. When you meet someone, your brain is doing two things at once. It is trying to understand the other person, and at the exact same time, it is wondering how you are being judged. And that tension has a name. It is part of what psychologists describe through uncertainty reduction theory. Basically, when people do not know each other yet, there is uncertainty. And that uncertainty creates pressure, and pressure kills flow. So if you have ever gone blank in the middle of a conversation, that does not mean you are antisocial. It usually just means your brain is busy managing social stress. And here is the part most people never realize. Research on liking gap shows that after conversations, people often think they came across worse than they actually did. So, chances are, you are judging yourself harder than the other person ever was. And that changed everything for me, because once you stop treating conversation like a performance, you can start treating it like a skill. And if it is a skill, it can be learned. Today I will show you 3 skills that make almost any conversation flow better. First, ask follow-up questions. This is probably the biggest one. A lot of people think good conversationalists always know what to say next, but usually they don't. They just know how to stay on the current topic longer. Research shows that people who ask more questions, especially follow-up questions, tend to be liked more. Why? Because follow-up questions signal responsiveness. They show the other person that you are not just waiting to speak. You are actually engaged. So, if someone says, "I went golfing this weekend," do not kill the conversation with, "Oh, nice." Stay with it. How long have you been playing? Do you go often? Are you actually good? Or just emotionally attached to the sport? That's how conversations keep moving. Not by constantly changing topics, but by developing the one you already have. Second, listen to understand, not to reply. This sounds obvious, but most people are terrible at it. They are not really listening. They are just silently rehearsing what they want to say next. And when you do that, you miss everything useful. You miss details, you miss emotion, and you miss the little clues that tell you where the conversation naturally wants to go. That's why active listening matters. When someone feels heard, the interaction instantly feels better. And when you truly listen, people basically hand you the next question for free. So instead of trying to be impressive, try being present. Because people rarely leave a conversation thinking, "Wow, that person had amazing lines." They leave thinking, "I felt good talking to them." 3. Use balanced self-disclosure. This is where conversation becomes connection. Some people ask too many questions and sound like interviewers. Other people talk too much about themselves and make it feel one-sided. The sweet spot is in the middle. Psychologists call this reciprocal self-disclosure. It means both people gradually share, respond, and open up together. So do not just ask. Also relate. If someone says they just moved here, you could ask what brought them here. Then after they answer, say something small about yourself like, "Yeah, moving somewhere new is exciting, but it can also feel really strange at first." Now the conversation has warmth. Now it has rhythm. And that's the part people miss. Great conversations are not built on endless topics. They are built on rhythm. If you feel like you never know what to say when meeting people, remember this. You do not need to be more entertaining. You do not need better stories. You do not need to become some hyper-confident extrovert. You just need to stop trying to perform and start trying to understand. Because most conversations do not die from lack of material. They die because no one slows down enough to explore what is already there. Ask better follow-ups, listen more closely, share a little of yourself, and stop treating every pause like a disaster. The goal is not to be the most interesting person in the room. It is to make the other person feel interesting too. And once you learn that, you almost never run out of things to say.